Okay, so my story tonight is on how I learned how to eat fancy in the North. I'm someone that really loves food. Every waking moment, most of my day is spent either cooking, eating, thinking, dreaming, photographing food. So right now, I'm thinking about food. So the most natural word to use to describe me would probably be a foodie, but I hate that term so much, and I really resisted using it. I Googled what are the alternate words for a foodie, what are the new words for a foodie. Didn't really come up with anything. But I did come up with an article that explained the origins of this food. So the word foodie has been around for a long time, but it was an article in the New York Times in 1984 that really brought the word foodie into our modern lexicon. So describe a foodie as a food adventure seeker, a culinary addict, or someone who is very interested in food. So I guess reluctantly, I'm a foodie. But I just feel like this day and age it doesn't mean anything anymore. Anyone who likes to go out to eat, which is everyone, anyone who has a camera phone that can take a photo and Instagram it, you're a foodie. So I really hate that term, but I'm going to use it for the purpose of this presentation. So before Yellowknife, I lived in Toronto. My decision to move here was super random. Decision was made in 15 minutes over dinner with a friend. She was moving to Fort Smith to earn some money for her dissertation. I had just come back from a year of travels. I had no money, all my stuff in storage, I had no job. So yeah, I came. So I booked myself a one-way ticket to Yellowknife. And I didn't really know much about Yellowknife, and I didn't realize how much it cost to go to Fort Smith. The flight was $800. So I never made it to Fort Smith. So I stayed in Yellowknife. I wasn't worried about the cold. I came in mid-January. I wasn't worried about the dark. I had no friends. I had no place to live. I had no job. I was worried about the food. So this was literally my suitcase. I got 2 pieces of luggage, and it was filled with food. And that is the truth, because I was so concerned of what I could eat here. But to my delight and also a little bit of horror, I found that the grocery stores weren't that different. Price-wise, pretty much the same as Loblaws. Selection-wise, pretty much the same as what I can get down south, which is great. I can cook pretty much the way I did, but also a little horrified that so far up in the subarctic, we have such a homogenization of our food. So cooking, that wasn't going to be a huge difference, but eating out was going to be an issue. Not a lot of restaurants here. Toronto, we're super lucky, have a whole gamut of restaurants from all across the globe, from cheap and cheerful to the very fancy fine dining. So that was a little hard. And the lack of farmer markets. In Toronto, abundance of farmer markets. So it was right by the lush green belt, and it was really easy and really trendy to eat local and organic and say you eat local and organic. But what I've realized that those were just words that I didn't really know the meaning of and the true ecological meaning of those words. Which turned out to be a really good thing. I joined the Yellowknife Farmers Market in my first year here. It was in its pilot year when it first arrived. And I was super impressed with what it had to offer. France was there with all this vegetables that I didn't even realize can be grown in the north. And there was all this bread that Kyle made, that's his bread, jams, pies, curries, fresh pressed juices. So that made me super happy. So I made sure I joined the board so I can be part of the thing that can keep me fed and get all the food that I want to get. So that was super important for me. And then I also got a chance to be part of NFTY. I got into one of their waitlist spots the first year they were in operation, and I got super inspired by what Jackie was doing and what NFTY was doing, and learned more about what a food system meant and what local economic development meant and what local food security meant. So I know it's a little ironic to move all the way up here and then learn how to garden, but it turned out to be a really good thing because it made me understand the importance of local food systems and really understand what local and organic means. Right now, I feel like they're just buzzwords that our local and our broken food systems are using to really simplify the nuances of what it means to be ecologically sound when you grow your own food. So my food journey has taken me to someone who just eats a lot, to someone who's now part of the entire food system. So I really like to photograph food. I mentioned that in the beginning. And one thing that I found really weird here now is people are seeking out my work, which makes me, it's weird because I feel like a fraud. I feel like everyone takes photos of their food. But it's fun. It's something I enjoy doing. So last year, I got a chance to work with Up Here magazine. I did a fish spread with them. So I got a chance to develop recipes. I cooked, styled, and I photographed a spread for them. So that was a lot of fun. So this is a white fish burger with juniper aioli, morels, and arugula. So I tried to use ingredients that you can grow here or harvest here. For Edge YK last year, I did a holiday gifting spread. So I did Saskatoon berry jam, packaged up some wild harvested teas, made it look all fancy, and then also orange, cardamom, and cranberry shortbread cookies. So that was that. And then with the Yellowknife Farmers Market, I also had the opportunity to try to figure out how to sell 300 kilograms of kohlrabi in 2 hours. I don't know if you guys remember that. So part of that was trying to teach Yellowknife what a kohlrabi is and how to eat it and how to cook with it. So I developed some recipes, photographed it, and then blogged about it for the farmers market. So after almost 4 years of living here in what I thought was going to be a food desert, actually made me a better foodie. And these are just 4 people that I highly respect for their food activism and I just feel are all around good foodies. So there's Alice Waters, Mark Bittman, Carlos Petrini, and the last one, Devin. That's it. Okay.